Coming up next, we're going to preview Monaco as well as Turkish Grand Prix is off the calendar, and two previous drivers have re-signed for their teams. Coming up next. Hey guys, welcome into the F1 Starting Grid. On behalf of Chaz Day and me, Mike Allen, I'm Brock Young, welcoming you into another unique insight into Formula One. Before we go any further, please like, share, and subscribe, and follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and email us, theformularacing@gmail.com. It's right there at the bottom, right there. All for you to follow us, keep you informed and everything. So we would love to hear from you, by the way. And without any further ado, we are going to go straight into this. Two signees were just announced this past week. First of all, Bottas will be signing with McLaren through 2022, and Lando Norris has signed a multi-year deal with McLaren, and this was quoted on F1.com. On Wednesday, ahead of the Monaco Grand Prix, it was announced that McLaren's Lando Norris has put pen to paper and signed a multi-year extension with their squad, meaning he will stay with the team until 2023. And Norris has confidence in the McLaren mission to get back to the front of the pack. That's why he re-signed with the team just after 4 races in 2021.
Did you say Bottas signed with McLaren?
I'm sorry, no, Bottas signed with Mercedes.
With Mercedes, okay, yeah.
Re-signed with
we
2022.
We've just been talking about McLaren. That's why you had McLaren on the brain.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Norris has re-signed with McLaren. If I misspoke, I'm sorry. It's just, but I'll tell you what, Mike. Let's just jump this to you. If what do you think about both those re-signees?
I'm surprised about Bottas, to be honest with you, especially with Hamilton staying. I guess he likes being the number 2 driver. I mean, the money's there.
Yeah.
It just kind of surprises me. I thought he might have tried to go somewhere where he could be the number 1 driver, and he could go to any other team and be the primary driver in any other team on the grid. So.
Well, we talked about this. He wanted to be number 1. He wants to be the number 1 driver. He wants to be the number 1 driver at Mercedes. I guess that's probably why he resigned, maybe thinking maybe Lewis might retire at the end of the year so he could have at least 1 year as the main driver. But what if Lewis resigns for another year too? So both of them are going to be through 2022. What does that say about George Russell? Where he's going to go? I mean, his contract's in at the end of the year too.
Well, I think if Williams keeps improving, they might be competitive next year. I mean, they've made some great strides. They just need a car that lasts mechanically, can last a race, so George can have a chance. But who knows? He might end up going to Ferrari or McLaren.
Well, Chaz, what do you think about those two signings, man?
Well, first off, I do think that Williams could be competitive next year with F2 cars. I also no. I think it's interesting. I think so. Do we know for sure that Norris? Because everything that I saw about the contract just said that he's. They said to 2022 and beyond. Like that was kind of the verbiage on. I looked at 3 articles and they all said 22 and beyond. Because I guess that's the language that Zach Brown used. But do we know for sure that it's through 2023?
I'm looking at. In fact, I saw the same articles as you did, Chaz. But I'm looking on F1.com right now, and this is their main primary story. It was just announced, at the time of this taping, that yes, it is through at least 2023, and this was reported on F1.com.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, good for him. I'll say that is good for both McLaren and Norris. So I think that's a success. Bottas, on the other hand, I got kids around, so I'm not gonna say what I really feel. But it's even if he, let's say, Bottas wants to sign in order to stay or in order to have a shot at being the number one driver. Even if he stays and Hamilton leaves, because that's the only shot in heck that he has of being the number one driver. Even if that happens, I am willing to bet he still wouldn't be the number one driver because George Russell is no joke. And George Russell in a Mercedes, I would have my money on George Russell over Bottas. So I don't see. Well, I do see the point for Mercedes in the rehiring. Like it makes sense because you can't do better than him for that particular role, right? Like you need someone who's going to secure the constructors for you. Yep. Right? Who's going to come in second a lot. There's not a better result than coming in first and second. So what are you going to do? Hire someone new and start over to work them into coming into second? If the goal is to win the constructors this year, you would, or for the conceivable future for the next couple of years, Bottas gives you the best shot at doing that because he's familiar with how you guys do things. If you're looking into the future, then you make sense to look at another driver. But if it's just to secure constructors for now, unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say this, there isn't a better option than Bottas because there's no one that can produce a better result than second place.
Well, he's only 31. Well, in F1 years, that's pretty much up there. So,
there's drivers on the field that are 19. So
yeah, and there's a couple drivers in their 40s. So he's
true. No, he's still. I would say that that he's in his prime. To be honest, he's still, as far as F1 is concerned, he's still in that window that would be considered prime. So I'm not saying that he's like washed up as a driver. I'm just saying that he doesn't belong in Mercedes.
Yeah. Well, you touched on Bottas. Let me get you to touch on Norris right quick because I think, at least from my perspective, that is a very good fit. They both like each other, and going into this new power unit, you need a driver that's been there for a little while, familiar with the family, familiar with the team, and I think this is a very good fit. And Norris is becoming a very strong driver. Mm-hmm. But your take on that, Chaz?
Yeah, I love the fit. I mean, he's 21, something like that.
Something like
that. I love him as a future driver for an up and coming team, a legacy team. But as of right now, they probably have the most upside of any team right now. So if you consider like if you look at Mercedes or you look at Red Bull, those teams don't have much of an upside because they're already so high. Mm-hmm. I think McLaren is a team with the most upside potential of the teams that actually matter. Not to be offensive, but
well, speaking about the history behind it, I mean, their new livery. Absolutely gorgeous for me. I mean, that orange and light blue together. For me, this should have been the livery from the very beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. And too bad this is only one-off, only for Monaco. Hopefully they keep it.
Right.
There's a petition on Twitter right now to keep this for the rest of the year. But
they should keep it. It's better than the one they had.
They are. They should. They really should. I mean, this is classic but yet modern, and it's just so beautiful. Chaz, your take on that?
You know what? When I first saw it, I actually thought that it was white and orange.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah, and I think it might have just been like the settings on my phone because I saw it on my phone and I just thought it was white and orange. And I thought the white and orange was pretty cool. I literally did not realize that it was blue. Like, as a matter of fact, I sent it to a friend and they replied, they're like, "I love the blue." And I was just like,
"It's that powder blue, yeah."
Well, I thought he was referring to the old livery, right? So I thought he was actually saying like he preferred the blue in the old livery, because I'm like, this one doesn't have any blue. It's just like white and orange. I literally did not realize it was powder blue until you just said it now. That is sick. I literally love it. I think it looks super duper sick. I did like the white and blue. I'm sorry, the white and orange, and especially the way they rolled it out with like the whole the stripes and everything. I thought that part, like the packaging, was sick. But with that light blue, I'm looking at it on my laptop now. Oh, baby.
It looks good.
I was watching the promo video on Sunday when they rolled it out, and I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god! It was, I mean, the promo video right there, it looked like it was white and orange.
Yeah.
So it was, but seeing that in the blue, light blue and orange, still, I mean, Mike, it looks.
And it's just like it's like a pearl. Yeah, it's like a pearl blue. You know, it's like it really looks sharp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other one, and I think we talked about this before. That particular blue with that particular orange, because this is a different blue. This is a different orange. Yeah. This is a different orange from what they have in their current livery right now. So that particular blue and that particular orange from their the livery they released at the beginning of this season looks so corporate and so boring. Like it's just it looked like it could be a pharmaceutical company. Like just those colors, right? Like it's just so bland. But like that, like light blue with that particular shade of orange feels fresh. It feels modern. I think it feels like what the team is right now. The team isn't, boring. They are exciting. They're up and coming. They're young. They're fresh. I think it's a good fit.
Well, they copied this off of the I forgot what year in the '90s, but off their winning GT series, and I said before. I mean, some people make comparisons to their like '80s and '90s McLaren with the red and white Marlboro, the famous ones. Yeah. And this I said before. For me, I hope they keep this for the rest of the year, not just a one-off. Even though like Ferrari did a one-off last year for the 100 or 1000 Grand Prix. I don't know. I just hope they keep it past Monaco.
Well, I kind of like this trend of teams going back to historic liveries. That's kind of cool.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the immediately when I saw it, it reminded me of like the Martini liveries.
Yes.
It definitely kind of has a little, and that's the classic feel for me. Like it kind of has a nod to that like Martini, color scheme with the, the Martini's like red with the light blue, but it's still kind of like the way that they put it together still kind of feels classic but modern in that Martini way.
Well,
like thumbs up, McLaren.
Thumbs up, double thumbs up for me. It's wonderful, wonderful to see. Well, let's just move on to previewing Monaco. Probably F1's most famous race, probably most famous race in racing. Period. The only course that might have more history is Silverstone. First Grand Prix was 1950. Number of laps of 78, probably the most laps on the grid right now. Current circuit is 3.33 kilometers long, and the race distance is 260 kilometers. Lap record, was set by Max Verstappen back in 2018 with 1 minute and 14 seconds. Before we get into our predictions, though, a story came out by Toto Wolff, where he says this. He says Monaco was a hugely missed last year since it was not on the calendar due to COVID. We cannot wait to be back in action on the streets of Monte Carlo. It's such a unique, intense weekend for the drivers and the team. No margin of error. It puts the fire underneath your ass, and we love the challenge. Monaco is a downforce track, and we know It's a key strength to Red Bull. This is a very quick in Sector 3 in Spain. They were very quick in Sector 3 in Spain. That's a good indicator of the strong performance in Monaco. So we know heading into this weekend that they are the team to beat, whilst also knowing that we face strong competition from other teams as well. But just like the season so far, we're enjoying the hunt. Now, Chaz, is he downplaying Red Bull or downplaying his own team, or he's just playing like basically Tom Brady in every single press conference? Oh, they're a great team, and he comes out just beating their butt all of the field. Is Toto Wolff taking the same approach, or he's just like really, concerned about, because Red Bull is really good in Monaco the past few years.
Yeah, they have been good. They've been good everywhere the last couple of years. I feel like in golf, there's other sports like that too. Like bowling, I know has handicaps, but basically you can misuse a handicap to gain an advantage, right? And if you do that, then people kind of say, oh, that person's a sandbagger, right? Like they're overstating how bad they are in order to gain an advantage. And let me make sure there's no kids around. There's no kids around. Total Wolff's a sandbagging son of a bitch. I think that he knows exactly what he's doing. I think they're always concerned, which is why Mercedes is so great. I genuinely think they're always concerned. I genuinely think that, when Hamilton is complaining about his tires, that he's genuinely complaining about his tire. I think he's just neurotic and constantly concerned, and that's what makes him great. I don't think that he's doing it to, mislead other teams or anything like that. I don't think there's anything more to it other than OCD level meticulous neuroticism. And I think that him and Toto, him being Hamilton and Toto, both have that.
Mike?
In a game of chess, you have to learn how to sandbag. And I disagree with Chaz. I think Hamilton knows exactly how good his tires are. I think he knows his transmissions are going to get leaked, and he is a student of the master, and the master is Toto Wolff. And it's kind of like any team or any group or any in any sport, when you're at the top and everybody's nipping at your heels, it would be easy to come out and say, yeah, we're the best and no one else can touch us. Or you can downplay it just to give enough people hope so that you can go out there, and have the advantage psychologically. Because, if people think they have hope and then halfway through the race, they know they have no hope, that's more disheartening than having a chance. But he's the master tactician. And I think it's all meticulously planned out. I think there's no off the cuff. It's a machine. Mercedes-Benz, the team, is a machine. And yeah, I'm with Chaz. He's a sandbagger son of a bitch, but he's the best. So
he is. Now I posted
the
this.
difference between being a sandbagger son of a bitch and an asshole is he's in first and not Haas.
All right. I posted this to Twitter that on the current grid here right now, how they finished in Monaco. So far, in the last 20 years, there hasn't been a back-to-back winner. So you always had a different winner every single year. Now, granted, once again, there was no winner last year because of COVID. But the last winner we had was Lewis Hamilton in 2019. And he actually, on the current grid, he has the most wins at Monaco with 3, 2008, 16, and 19. And also, just to let you know, Max, out of the 5 years he has driven in Monaco, finished in the top 10 3 times, no podiums and no wins, of course. So with that, also I want to say this too. Charles Leclerc, this is going to be his third year driving to Monaco, and so far he has DNF both those years. So we'll see how it goes. But actually, with that, we're going to go into picks. This is going to be Monaco is probably the most difficult race to predict. So my picks are really, really out there compared to normal. So my picks are already out there. But I have to go with Max, number one. The boyhood dream has come true with Charles Leclerc finishing in second. And I want to see one of those McLarens on the finishing grid. So I'm going to say Lando Norris at number 3. And I did a callback right there, Mike, as a little wrestling terms, like the boyhood dream has come true. So
I got that.
And my other prediction, Mazepin will hit a yacht. No, never mind. No.
Mazepin will turn a car race into a boat race.
Here's hoping. Here's hoping.
Here's hoping.
Oh
no, actually, I have it that Bottas will finish outside the top 10.
Wow.
That is a bold statement, but I won't go with it.
Wow. Wait, so help me out with how the point system works again. So if you get one of those, one of those predictions, because we have our core top 3, and then we have our bold prediction, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you get one of those bold predictions, what do you get?
20 points.
20 points. Okay. All right.
So looks like you probably need a moment there, Chaz. Mike, what do you got for your picks?
I'm going to go with you. It all boils down to the who's going to be sitting on pole. Because if you can get on pole, you're probably going to win the race. So it's all up to Verstappen to get. I think he can get the pole position. So I'm going to go ahead and die on that hill with you, with Max. I think he's going to pull. I think he's going to pull even. I got. I'm not bold enough to put Leclerc third or second. I think Hamilton's going to be right on Verstappen's butt the whole way. So it's going to be they're just going to switch. So Verstappen, Hamilton, and I've got Norris third.
Okay.
And my bold prediction,
mm-hmm.
I'm going to stick with it. Russell finishes in points.
Awesome. He has a chance.
It's getting better. They're making really good improvements to the car, and he was only less than half a second out of the Q3. So we'll see.
So far, this is going to.
If I have a second bold prediction, I think that Mazepin will be asked to retire from the race as the leaders come up to him, so he doesn't screw things up.
I'm actually going to write that down.
Hey, if I were a Haas, knowing that we don't even give a shit, and Verstappen's out there doing fast laps, and him and Hamilton are battling out, and here's Mazepin puttering along, I'd be like, just box, get out of their way. Just come on in, let him go by. Just hold him in the pit until everybody in the front runners go by, and then he can go back out and be a lap down. I mean, it's at this point, you kind of have to ask yourself if the lack of effort is going to affect the race that much. Why are you even racing? Why are you even spending the money?
Well, I wouldn't put it past Haas.
Huh?
I wouldn't put it past Haas that they would do that, especially in a tight course like Monte Carlo.
Well, they should just. I mean, if you're not going to care, don't affect other people's results. You know what I'm saying? If you just don't give a crap, park the car and let everybody.
Mike, are you giving life advice right now?
I'm giving life advice right now. As a non-participant in F1 outside of the show, it has gotten to the point where a rank amateur like me can see the obvious, and you need to park that car.
Well, this is going to be Russell's second race at Monaco, so we'll see how he does. Chaz, what do you have on the podium?
So I'm actually gonna go out there. I'm gonna say the order is going to be Hamilton, Verstappen, Bottas.
Okay.
Hey, you ain't got no guts, man.
That's why he's leading in points right now.
That's why he's leading the pack. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And I am going to say, of the rookies, this year, that let me look at the rookie list. So one, my original pick was that Mazepin wasn't going to finish, and not just because it's Mazepin, but because he's a rookie. It's his first season, and Monaco is just a tough race.
And he's horrible.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say it. But I think of the rookies, so we have Mazepin, we have Schumacher, and Yuki. Is that it? Looks like, yeah, that's going to be it. So I think I want to say I don't think any of them are going to finish.
All going DNF?
Yeah, that's my prediction.
That might be.
That might happen.
Them walls will get you.
And keep in mind, last time I checked, it probably changed by now. It is supposed to be raining Sunday in Monaco.
Oh my gosh. I feel even more confident now.
So we'll see how that goes.
Kicking back. Shut up.
But I also have to say that by the time this show comes out, practice number 2 for Monaco will be taking place, because practice 1 and 2 will happen on Thursday morning. Then they're going to skip a day because they have, I think, the Formula 2 and Formula 3 series over there right now. And then practice 3 and qualifying will take place back on the regular schedule on Saturday, and the race will be on Sunday. Now, another situation here that I'm sad to report is because of COVID, now the Turkey Grand Prix is off the calendar. First it was Canada. Turkey was going to replace it. Now, reported by ESPN.com in the Formula One section, they said that Turkey will be canceled. The French Grand Prix will move up a week, going to be in June 20th. Then June 27th will be June 27th and July 4th will be at the Red Bull Ring. So there's going to be 2 weekends back to back for Austrian. Mike, I know this is hard to report. I know the drivers like Turkey. I mean, honestly, I wish they didn't cancel Canada, but this is, not great to hear. Another race down the tube for F1.
Well, hopefully that opens the doors to, like we talked earlier in the year about having races in Southeast Asia and Vietnam, and hopefully that opens some of those doors to replace them. We don't lose a race. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't like this every other week thing. I liked it when it was right the next week. I was ready to go, man.
Well, we have
52 race schedule would be right up my alley.
We haven't actually lost a race, right? They're doing the Austrian Grand Prix twice.
Right, so it's still going to be 23 races, but we lost a Grand Prix, or lost a couple Grand Prix.
We lost a location, which I will take. To Mike's point, I'm glad we're losing a location and not a race.
Yeah, true. But I just wish they would race in Canada again because I love that track.
I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take an election. I mean, they're doing some crazy crap up there in Canada that just, outside of racing, just the whole country is going to be flipping, I think,
Hmm.
because it's
Well, with Miami coming next year, Canada has to be on that board. So, in
yeah.
fact, I would like to do. We're talking about this new series. We're going to do What If series. I would like to do a What If series. What if there's going to be another race, not in the United States, but in Americas? Where we would put it? We put a second one in Canada, second one in Mexico, second one in Brazil, because Brazil has two tracks that are FIA grade. So that'll be awesome, and that also enhance the timing wise as far as racing in the afternoon for United States. So more fans will probably come in for that as well. So I
Wait,
want to.
are you saying to have a third race in the U.S.?
No. Either a
Just
second
in the
race in
Americas,
another race in the Americas, like one
Oh, in the
in this
Americas.
hemisphere.
Gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha, gotcha.
in Canada, Mexico, or Brazil.
Right.
No,
Yeah, I
I'd love.
mean,
Yeah, I would love to see an Alaskan Grand Prix.
Oh, good lord, man!
what if they drifted on the ice? That'd be sick.
You know what I'm
There's
saying? Just put knobby tires on all the cars and
Chains.
there is actually a video of Max with snow tires or snow chains on his F1 car going down
his
a
F1
mountain.
car. Yeah.
That looked pretty cool though.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I saw that video. That's what kind of made me think about it. Can you imagine the compound of the tires that have to adjust you to race in Alaska?
Oh, good lord almighty!
Well, I mean, the United States having a third race is no different than having more than one race in Europe, because the United States is larger than all of Europe, like
Yeah,
just in size. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So if like
Wow.
if we had another one, like if we actually got that one in Las Vegas,
That would be a good race.
I
That
think
would be
that's
a
the
good
only other
location.
place where we actually have a track that could
Well, you could
support a
also
race.
have one in Seattle. That
Oh,
would
they
be
have a track up there?
well. It'd be a road. It'd be a street.
Oh,
It'd be a street race.
oh my gosh, those Seattle people would complain
Oh
so
god, yeah.
crazy about that.
I
Actually, I don't know. They didn't
But
put up
don't
much
know.
of a.
Austin doesn't complain. They take all the money when it comes here.
Yeah, but it's also in like South Austin where the people they don't care
Yeah, it
about
is.
live.
It is kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Although that play it is developing down there, just around the track. So
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have better than 3 2-lane country roads leading to it.
Well, also to you, back to your point there, Chaz. Keep in mind that the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is still an FIA grade track, so they can still have it there.
But that's not just like a NASCAR track?
No, it's IndyCar and it's FIA grade.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think the only reason why FIA doesn't really like it is it's an oval.
Well, that and remember back in 2005, the big hoopla. Only 6 cars raced because of tires, and they
Yeah,
didn't want to go back there. That was the last time they had it at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
yeah.
And finally, we're going to talk about this story that came up that would at the end of the year there were some rumors that Gasly might be going to Alpine, but right now with Ocon doing pretty good, better than expected actually, Alpine is pretty happy with them with Ocon. But we're going to save that for next week. So we're going to have a new Twitter question poll. Will Gasly replace Ocon at Alpine? So that's going to be this week's Twitter question. So make sure you vote on that. But our previous Twitter question is who's helping out their team more? And we had 4 drivers on there. We had Bottas, Perez, Sainz. But the winner of the Twitter question poll was actually Daniel Ricciardo with 40%. Sainz came in second with 28%. Bottas in third with 19, close to 20%, and Perez came in last with 11%. Chaz, what do you think about that? Is Ricardo helping out his team the most out of those 4 drivers?
That surprises me, to be honest. Yeah, I would not have put Ricardo that high considering where he stands in the team standing. I mean, well, where is he right now in the drivers race right now?
Look it up right quick here. You had to call me off board. Actually, 7th.
7th, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
24 points.
that. I mean, it's helpful. I don't know if it's the most helpful, but yeah, that surprises me. It's interesting.
Well, out of those 4, of course, Bottas has the most points at 47, followed by
Right.
Perez by 32
Right.
at 6. Then 6th, 7th, and 8th, you have Perez, Ricciardo, and Sainz. All 12 points separate those 3. Mike, what do you think about the results here?
I mean, I can see the thought process behind it. I mean, he was the last non-Hamilton to win Monaco.
True.
And he's a proven race car driver, and with with the team that he's on, I mean, McLaren right now is doing well, and he supports Lando pretty good. I mean, I can see it.
Well, I would have thought Bottas, but what happened last week or last time in Spain with him holding up Lewis like that for a while. I don't know. I thought Perez was probably a better choice, honestly, because he is. I mean, not doing too well, but he's doing.
Not really. He hasn't been in a position to help Verstappen at all. He hasn't even been close. He's fighting for 5th place, almost a full minute behind the leaders, and Verstappen and Hamilton are up front battling it out with Bottas right behind Verstappen. That's not helping your teammate out very much.
No, but well, Mike, who do you would pick out of those 4? I know Chaz would pick probably Bottas, but
Don't put me in a box. A Bottas-shaped box.
Put a Bottas on it.
Right.
Bottas.
Don't tell me to box. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I mean, I can't argue with it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
What are the options again, Brock?
You had Bottas, Perez, Ricciardo, and Sainz with Ferrari.
Carlos Sainz.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Ferraris have been close together and finishing pretty close together.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Ricciardo's a better backup. He's doing more to support the team. I mean, he's older. He's supportive of his teammate. I haven't seen any real animosity there.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely know it's not Perez. Like, to be fair, I mean, they definitely have the second best car, but he's not producing, top 4 results. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely not Perez, right? Sainz, meh. Bottas, I think he's doing what he's supposed to do. And Ricciardo's still lagging. I mean, if McLaren is the 3rd best team, then Ricciardo should be in the top 6. And he's not. So you got Perez, who is not producing top 4 results, right? Because Red Bull is the 2nd best team, so he should be within the top 4. He's not. He's at 6. Ricciardo should be in the top 6 because if they're the 3rd best team, he's not. He's number 7. Sainz is in the top 8, which I don't know. I don't think that's helping anybody in a Ferrari. But he's 31 points behind Lando, and 21 points. 21 points behind Lando and 4 spots behind Lando. Wait, what am I talking about? Behind Leclerc, excuse me.
Yeah,
So
20 points.
Yeah, he's behind 20 points behind Leclerc. So he's 20 points in 3 spots. I mean, he's definitely not keeping up with Leclerc. And Bottas, the only person that he's getting beat by is soon to be world champion Verstappen. I feel like he's the only one that's really doing his job. Do I think he's terrible and absolutely awful? No, I do not. I think that he is worse than any word that I could come up with. But he's out of those choices, I think he's the one who's doing his job the most.
Well, Perez and Sainz. Perez right now has scored more points than Gasly and Albon from this point in their careers with first season with Red Bull. And to be honest, Sainz is doing better than Sebastian Vettel did last season. So, but to your point, I agree with both of y'all that Bottas is actually probably helping his team out the most out of those 4. But it's still early. It's race number 4 of 23, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm really thinking of changing
anybody's year.
Huh?
It's anybody's year. Haas could pull it out.
Well, we'll see. Not this weekend, though.
No, definitely not this weekend.
If Haas showed up to a race and everybody else was incapacitated, they would still come in 3rd and 4th.
No, I think they'd probably DNF. It would be too much open space, and they'd be like, nah!
Mazepin wreck Schumacher out like in the 2nd lap. It's a short race.
And with your extra prediction there, Chaz, with the rookies DNF, I'm really considering changing my pick to yes, Mazepin will hit a yacht.
Dude, if he actually hits a yacht,
if he gets into the water,
dude, I would lose my crap. One, because I'd be concerned, and I'd want to. I hope that he'd be safe, but also, it would be hilarious, like actually hilarious. Do you remember that race when Kimi DNF'd and he watched the rest of the race from his boat?
Yeah.
I don't remember what year that was. It was a couple years ago, but he literally like in his board shorts and no shirt watched the rest of the race from his boat.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Because he wrecked out like in the beginning.
It was amazing. Kimi he just does not care about anything, and it makes him an absolute legend.
That's what I said, Mike. Instead of doing the Murray Walker quote of the week, we might have to do it for Kimi Räikkönen, what he says on the radio over the weekend.
I'll pay attention. He's just, at this point, I think he's just racing because he likes the atmosphere. He just likes to race.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit. He gets to race a fast car on the weekend with the boys.
And get paid for it.
And get paid for it.
Well, it was in 2006. It's so funny. Like even the photo of him walking onto the yacht with he's fully dressed. Like he's got his helmet on and everything, walking onto his yacht. And then there's a woman on in a bikini waiting for him. And then I sent it to you guys in the chat. And then he comes back out with his shirt off, and he's just drinking and watching the race.
That's gangster level right there.
This guy.
That is gangster level.
But do you expect anything else from Kimi?
No. He's the best.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about this week's race, though, and see what happens. I said before, this is going to be Monaco is the most unpredictable race on the calendar. So I'm happy to see it back. Once again, it's supposed to be raining. Everything changes with the weather, so we'll see how that goes. But you know what? Before we leave, any other This won't count towards our points, but any other big surprise you think is going to happen over the weekend from Monaco?
I mean, this is a fun race to watch just because of the atmosphere, but after you get your qualification order, that's usually how it ends up. When someone wrecks.
I don't think it'll be particularly crazy. I do think that it's a really the results don't really show it, but I do think this is a really competitive year where everyone's really doing their best. Everyone's best is not equal. I don't think everyone's best is the same, but everyone really is kind of bringing it and doing their best. So I think the midfield could turn out to be interesting. There could be some passes, especially, I don't know what it is about Kimi, but this guy has the absolute best starts, like maybe in like all the Formula One. Like he gains like 3 spots every start. Like I mean, look back at the races. Like this, I don't know what it is, but he is just he's great off the blocks. So I don't know. I say that to say that maybe there'll be some interesting overtaking in the midfield, and that'll probably be the race to watch. But I think, like Mike said, whoever starts out front is most likely going to end there, unless someone just makes a really bad judgment call. But I mean, when you have Red Bull and Mercedes at the front, those teams make great calls. Like, right. One may make better calls than the other, but both teams make great calls. The only other team that would have been up front that could lose it with the quality of their calls is Ferrari, and they're not at the front anymore. So,
just looking at the weather for the weekend over there in Monaco. Saturday and Sunday is supposed to be partly cloudy to cloudy skies with 20% chance of rain, but Monday is the one that's the rain's supposed to be coming in, so 70% on Monday. So things could change. Things could change. The weather could be coming in a little sooner than expected. We'll see about that.
Kind of hoping for it.
Yeah, me too. Something unexpected happens. Got to get on those weather tires and everything like that.
If it does rain, so let's say over the weekend, the percentage goes up to 60% or something like that of rain, and it actually does wind up raining on Sunday, I'd be willing to put money on the newbies crashing. I don't think they're going to make it.
Well, I mean, you already made the prediction, so it's already out there.
I know, but I want to actually get more than points. I want to get dollar points.
Well, the question is, will any of the newbies get wet?
Does each point equal $1? Is that how that works? Huh?
In Dogecoin.
In Dogecoin.
Hey, Doge is down right now. Better buy.
Buy
the dip.
So on that note, we'll make way for Mike's financial hour here. So there you go.
This is not financial advice. You have to say that.
Buy the dip.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, well, thank you for joining us this week. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and make sure you vote on the Twitter question of the week. Will Gasly replace Ocon at Alpine? We'll discuss that next week as well. So in the meantime, check out our other videos. Once again, like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time right here on the F1 Starting Grid.
Bye, guys. Mike loves you.